Boom! Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live in the flesh, live and direct in effect. You already know what time it is. How we doing, gentlemen? We good?
Good, man.
Good week.
Good. Vibrant.
Good vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
You?
Another week.
Icon. I see it. I respect it.
Just another week.
Just trying to get to the finish line.
We just
I hear you.
Yeah.
You must say yeah. I respect it.
Tired, bro.
First and foremost, this show is presented by Manscaped. So hold tight the sponsor. Of course, 20% off. STTV is the code. Good products, good produce. You already know what time it is.
Make sure you're supporting, man.
Real talk.
Help us help you, help us. You know what I mean?
Real talk. This is like
Use
the best on the market as well. I don't go and get it from the other people that I do Manscaped. No, this is the original. This is the proper.
And it's not even like
Manscaped.
shameless plugging. I actually do use it quite frequently.
No, that's what I'm saying.
My gal can testify to this.
Matting.
I'm just being honest.
Real talk.
It's a joke.
All right, boom. Without further ado, as is, custom, hold tight the 3-point collectors. Hold tight the participants. Hold tight the teams with one leg through to the next round of tournaments in Europe. Hold tight the teams that are being diligent and doing well for their fans. Hold tight the teams that are losing at home. Hold tight the teams whose fan bases are fighting each other. Hold tight the fans online that are calling out racism. I like that stuff. And we'll probably go into it later. And of course, he's going to be everyone's unanimous champ of the week. But I feel like we should set at the top as well. Rest in perfect peace to DMX. Because
For real, man.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Because that's
100%.
a real dog. That one's this. Show them the Tims. We've got paying tribute.
Yeah,
Yo,
bro.
dead
Show
ass
them the Tims. Show them the
Show them
Tims,
New
man.
York's finest.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nah, let's keep it there.
Might even just rest out for the rest of
Real
the show.
talk.
there,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
Tribute.
saying, man.
Keep paying
R.I.P.
tribute.
to X, man.
Real
No
talk.
cap.
And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So Spurs United, this is the stoppage time classical, or one of them anyway. It is the original battle of the heads. Before this law course, it was two twats. Before it was two idiots abroad, it was two twats
Oh, man.
going at each other.
Oh,
And
shit.
this game has, it's brought different moments for both of you. I feel like you've both had wins and losses through it. I mean, 6-1 early in the season, but throughout the whole time of stoppage, there's been a few moments in this fixture. We spoke in a group chat about the fixture, and it's kind of mixed. You guys are kind of, teams above you, Spurs above Spurs have capitalized.
Mhm.
You guys had to, react.
Yep.
United, it's kind of not a nothing game, but it's we don't want to go and disgrace ourselves. There's a bit of revenge that needs to go out there. It's always Jose Mourinho and quote unquote Kane campaign needs to run. So making those things that can happen, make it happen. And I'll be honest, in that first half, I know you guys were doing a live stream. I actually fell asleep for the first part of it, maybe the first 10 minutes. So I was like, what's going on here? And then I woke up.
The first half was pretty much Fight Club, bro. Like anything we were trying to build up, United were just breaking up, and
It was
like,
aggressive.
we weren't really creating much, but the fact that they were doing that was almost like a game plan from Ollie to be aggressive, be on the front foot, let them know you're there for the second, let them know you're there for the first as well. But
It was almost like a game of like, how do I say this? Dark arts, but not sort of like used in the right way. Like, like Spurs were trying, like Son, that is like, you know what, dark arts. Oh, I've lost this ball. I'm not let them just fall over.
Sure.
Boom. United as well. There were some things that United were doing but gradually the game went on, and it was like, oh, okay. But let's talk about that first incident with the goal, Son. Let's call it for what it is, man. Son manages to get away with a lot because his demeanor and everything is quite sweet. But there's a lot of stuff that this guy does that's very dark. Like,
talk to me. What do you mean?
Very dark. Like, he's a very sinister player. Like, and I'm like that. Him falling over like that, he knew what he was doing.
But the thing is as an attacker, you've got to try and get the advantage. Like most forwards, I think in the Premier League, we can say they've had.
But I don't think that is getting advantage. I think
the only thing is, I think because, as you say, Son is Mr. Nice Guy or whatever, it's not expected.
No,
people are more expecting it from Kane.
No. Because the thing is, people like there's this whole discussion that Kane does it, and people are like, no, he doesn't. You know, he's just being victimized because he's the England captain. With Son has a history of getting red cards. Violent conduct.
He's got that in him. Bro,
Small, yeah.
He snapped Gomez in half, bro.
Yeah. So that. But the reason why I'm bringing it out for this goal is because if you highlight what actually happened, it wasn't like he was trying to win a penalty or something. He didn't press with enough aggression to get the ball off McTominay.
He tried to pull him.
It didn't work. So he thought, this guy's going towards goal. We're in trouble. Because that's not enough contact to fall out.
But the thing is, it's an unnatural movement. Was how they called it. Scott McTominay's got his arm in the air, dig claw and eyes. Is that a normal movement? Is that a natural movement? Yes or no?
What do you mean it's natural movement?
The Scott McTominay.
Your
having
arms
his
always
arm
move.
this high.
When you talk here, you're like,
when you're running with the ball, your arms are meant to be up here.
It's Scott McTominay. It's not like Rivaldo that's going to be smooth.
You're just trying to get some distance
in the face,
and then my man's face is in the way.
How tall is McTominay?
But the thing is,
he's a tall lad. So if you're going like that, if that was Fellaini just random person, it's touching him in his like abdomen or something. It's Son. It touches his face, and Son just goes, you know what? I'm not catching this guy. He's a strong lad. I'm gonna fall over. And you know what? Like, credit where credit's due. Dark arts, fair play. Because of that, it was no goal. I have to give both sides. But the retaliation from United in terms of the game in general, I have to respect it.
That's the thing.
Greenwood coming on. Rashford looked tired. Greenwood came on, did what it needed to do. Even Bruno, there were small things that Bruno done. And
Bruno was crap.
No. I'm not saying Bruno, there were small things that he done that people don't usually talk about. He's the goal. No. The goal. Where did the goal come from?
Yeah,
the press. Him actually intercepting. That's something that people don't talk about. Like, throughout the game, he missing, but there was key moments, that small things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with him or United. Even the passage of play that you guys did, I was like, you even tweet, you're like, oh, okay, you know what? We're doing passage of play. We're fighting back. Oh, I have to say, you know what? Fair play to that, because people will always talk about, he doesn't do the basics and everything. What more do you want in that moment in terms of press the ball back, get the ball moving, little touch, you go and score? Like, we can victimize and vindicate all of these things about players here, but we have to give them credit when the small things that people always bang about, they actually do right for once.
Nah, but the thing is, with the second half, I don't even think it was Bruno was like even a major catalyst. I'm
just saying that moment.
But from the second half, their whole attitude seemed to change, and I think it's almost like a classic thing of United this season. For me, it's also the classic thing of Spurs this season as well, where first half we will take a goal, but who's dropped the most points from winning positions this year? Who's won the most points from losing positions? United. So this second half for me was like a real test to say, was a way to say, can you either break your hoodoos?
Do you want me to read it out? Yeah. So
I saw that.
Premier League rankings in terms of teams that were scored first. 19 goals scored first. Spurs ranked second in the league. Ahead at half time, they ranked second. Failed to win when ahead at half time, 20th. Points dropped from winning positions, 19th. Goals conceded last 10 minutes. You want to have a guess? 20th. Points dropped in last 10 minutes,
20th. It's awful, bro. It's awful.
That's that
story of the season. That's what this
mentality that he's building at the club, innit?
No, but the thing is, it's nobody turned up today as well. You can say Jose. I felt like what Jose was to blame for was the second half reaction. I felt like the second half reaction should have been way better for the players.
That's the thing of the whole season.
You can say that. Right there. You can say that though, but it's the same thing I've said all year as well with this same group of players. And I'm not even gonna dig out like the usual suspects. People would usually say, Kane, where was he today? Son, where was he today? And Ndombele, who I've praised to the hills, bro. But the thing is, it's cool. It's cool in certain games not turning up, but then in a game like this, when we fell behind, was it to Newcastle last week? This is kind of a game, if you're serious about chasing your top 4 ambitions, turn up and be counted for. Reguilon, who I've said has been one of the best left backs this season, cooked that second half.
Listen,
cooked.
I'll be honest with you. Anyone can get a bit timid in front of their big bro. It's just
that's what I'm saying.
Don't do that.
It's how it goes sometimes.
Credit to Pogs today. Who was he playing? Middle wing. I was saying wing back. they were calling him.
You know, don't ever. I said to you, don't ever do the
listen.
thing. There's levels to it, bro. There's levels to it. He's his big brother, fam.
Years in the game. Years in the game. That's what I'm asking for. Years in the game. That's what I'm asking for.
Is it Clement 15? What's their thing called when they get there?
Yeah.
Some man have to push straight when they see their elders. Senior Pogba, you want any blood? Certain man have to.
Bro, after the game, man was all hugging him. I was like, bro, get off, man.
I said it, bro. You can't be comparing them two, bro. There's levels to this game, fam. You trying to rush your boy's greatness. Yeah, I mean, you got tired. Look how tired he was, bro. He was running around looking knackered, fam. Yeah, I mean, I was like, bro, you got asthma over there.
Did you
fam.
see that
10 minutes in.
You stood up like Tom on the wing and went. I said, yo, get him off, man.
I'm not even like times, yeah, speaking of McTominay, there was at times watching that game and I was thinking to myself, is McTominay just letting this guy is that the instruction to just let him do what he wants? I was
what?
There was times where Undom was just collecting the ball in front of him. I was like, wait, is this the instruction just to let him be?
With United shape, they struggle. We were saying even throughout the live, like we don't know what shape they're playing, but for some reason their attitude for me was the biggest difference.
This is what we do. What United do is we always struggle to start games. Like it's like we don't know what we're doing to start, but once we concede or maybe it's more like, okay, we got to go and win the match now. It's like it's like you just see like a pressure lift off all of them, and everyone starts playing better.
It was punched before.
It was a night and day performance.
United bite their shield and then just get busy.
It was literally a night and day performance in the first half and the second half. Second half, Fred was so bad in the first half. All of a sudden, second half he was good. Forget his goal.
Yeah,
he was good. Pogba was different today. Yeah, I mean, different level, and he's just showed the quality that he has.
Bro, and on Pogba,
yeah, I mean,
obviously
like,
there's talks about contracts and everything. Like, do you reckon keeping him at United helps with the future of what a project or something will be? Because ultimately, he is a big player, right? Like, he's a big personality. He's somewhat, United and everything. Like, losing a player like that can look away to other players that want to come in and everything. But how big is it of a coup if you manage to keep him, and what does that actually do for United?
I don't think there's that many teams that I want him anyway at the moment. Like, no, it's not even a disrespect to him. I just don't think the amount of money that you have to pay. There's not many. I can't see many clubs lining up for him. But I would obviously, it's big if he stays. You want to lose players like that of that quality, especially when we're not full of mad quality like that. So you'd want to keep a player like that 100%, and it'll be a big boost. But still, you're still gonna need. Pogba's done better this season. He started the season second bad, half, but then towards the last 2 months of like January to February, he was good.
After
got
the
injured
whole
again.
Media sort of woo-ha, he
got injured again, and then now he's come back and he's put a performance like this in. So when Pogba's balling like in his best form, we know he's one of the best players in the Premier League when he's in the mood. But how often do you get Pogba?
Yeah,
we don't really know. Like when Pogba in that form that he was in, that 2-month form, we know he's one of the best players. Like if you say that he's not when he's in his best form, then it's just an agenda kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, can you get that type of Paul Pogba? Because today we played him on the left, right? We played him on the left, like inside space on the left. But he's not going to play there every week. Next game, we might put him back to number 6 next to Fred or whatever. And it's like, bro, you don't really know. So the management of him needs to be right. But we know once you get him in the best positions, he can be a world-class player. But there was loads of like standout performances. Not only just him, you got
Shaw.
Cavani was class. You got Shaw. You had Fred, as I said, Greenwood coming off the bench. And it was what I was saying.
Henderson pulled off a couple.
Henderson, and he did them off his feet as well, which is impressive as well, because that's what we love De Gea for. He loves the feet save. So to see it, it's like, yo, you've been watching your bro in trading or something. And you know what I mean? Sweeping, you know what I mean? So that was a big one for him, because this was the first game, even though Oli has put Henderson in the goal at previous points, this was the first game where it's like Oli has actually made it clear that he's his number one, because he started him 2 games ago. Then didn't play him in the cup game. De Gea played, and then he comes straight back in against Tottenham. That shows, you're my number one going forward. And so to staple it with a performance like that today, that's massive for him. But I just want to touch on Greenwood, bro. Like Cavani, good goal as well. But
call him what you was calling him, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Playoff, bro. Postseason Mason, fam. I told them, listen, at the end of last season,
bro. No. Do you know what was the most frustrating bit, bro? Yeah, this Greenwood's form all season ain't been all that. But this guy, I think on the group chat, was it? You said it, where he's like, "Yo, You remember Greenwood, the last after game week 30, what he looked like last year. Watch this season. And then I remember half time he said, "Yo, get money, mate. Go watch the live if you ain't. Get money, Mason. He's gonna give me something."
Yeah, so he's gonna win the game.
He comes on. 19 minutes? Yeah. Goal and assist. And
you just gotta remember it, like certain players, like just on what you're saying, like, it's like, I'm not going to say that this is going to be him for his career, but there's certain people where coming off the bench suits them. There's going to be certain people where the last bit of the season where it's pressure time, it suits them. There's going to be some people that they start the season on fire. You got some people like what we say with Kane, August, he will never score. Then he'll kick into it. Some people have those things. And if you're a manager and you understand that about a player and you know how to utilize it, well, it's sick. I don't think that's going to be Greenwood for the whole experience.
Of this
it's
guy
funny.
To call
it's funny. Yeah, it's funny that he called it and helped him. But tell me about Greenwood, about just him as a player, because there's been a lot of talk on him this season. There's been a lot of people, not putting dirt in his name, but trying to rub out the progress that was made from season before and everything. So
you don't sit in company with Rooney and Owen for no reason, unless you're a good player. Last season, he was doing numbers that Rooney and Owen doing. Every single time he was scoring, you'll see only Wayne Rooney and Owen have only Michael Owen has this. Like, I think he's even our highest scoring teenager in a season as well. Like, the guy's got bags of quality, and he had a tough season. He's having a tough season. Death of a friend, the incident with England, the media all of a sudden, just decided to just turn on him. There was silly rumors coming out on Reddit about, I don't even want to get into it, but just crime stuff, like just bare silly stuff. Yeah, this guy did this, he did this. All these distractions. But one thing you can never doubt is quality. And one thing that this generation of fans or this online thing has started is that everyone wants to pin people against each other. Everyone wants to be right immediately. Yeah. You can't, how can you look at an 18 to 19-year-old Greenwood and write him off already? Say he's dead. Oh, last season was one hit wonder. You just got to look at ability and quality. Young players are going to go up and down. This is why all these people look at all these people now doing U-turns about Mason Mount and that, mate, he just turned 21 or whatever it is. I mean, you got to give these young players time. Not too long, maybe Saka's gonna have a bad time next season. All of a sudden, people are gonna be saying he's rubbed.
Bro, people have been saying silly, it already, bro. With the couple games where he carried Arsenal for a majority of it. He doesn't score anything. Take him off. Purple patch.
This. Bro, all I always say
error.
All I always say is look at the quality. People sometimes, because we live in an era now where it's like, everything's agenda and stuff. People start to believe their own agendas, bro. Sometimes, like, that's how it is. And for me, everyone knows on Stoppage Time, I'm lenient towards the younger players. I'm always just like, bro, they're young. They're going to go for ups and downs. You just got to simply look at the quality. Do you think they're a quality player? How can you look at Mason Green and not think he's quality? His time's going to come, but the guys...
Do you know there's some caveats though?
I thought your forwards, as you said, both Greenwood and Cavani were the ones I made. And do you remember before the stream, I even said to you, like, our centre-backs is where I'm worried, and your forward should capitalise today. The only thing I worry with Mason Greenwood is, like, what's his next step? And where, like, because this season, you've even said you've had frustration seeing him come off the right or playing on the left. Like, as you're saying, you're on this Kane campaign. Kane comes through, he ain't seeing the number 9 shirt for the next 4 years. So it's like, when does Greenwood get that number 9 run to himself? Because Martial this season has shown, Martial this season has shown, I'm not the guy. Cavani has come in and tried to fill in blanks on where he can. He's done an okay job. Is he going to stay long term? You don't know.
There's two questions.
When does he get that run? I'm thinking.
I mean, but the thing is,
sorry, bro. There's the one question of, because when you have star talent in your team, ultimately you have to kind of say that this is the path we're laying out for you. How does that look for him? And two, how do you then put like infrastructure around that? Because we always say it's not fair for young players to be carrying a club. We saw what happened when Rashford was trying to do all this stuff and the injuries that happened. So what happens? And a lot of that conversation comes from the board and the manager. So
yeah, like what is the rush about? Why does Mason Greenwood have to be starting striker next season? And why does he have to carry the club? Why? Why does he have to be? Go and get the best tools for you guys to win. The best thing for Mason Greenwood to be part of is a quality team and a winning team, not a losing team. And then he's putting up numbers for a losing team. That's what Rashford and these men have been doing for ages. And now we're here and we're saying we're only now starting to see Rashford kind of maybe develop a little bit more. But it's baby steps. Get yourself around top players, and then that is the better thing for you. Mason Greenwood, if that means Harry Kane comes in, he's learning off Harry Kane. He's coming off the bench every now and again, putting up numbers. Bro, if you're a top team, you play about 60 matches in a season. If you're a top team, that could be about 30 starts in a season.
Fergie was known for having a rotation of 4 strikers as well.
Huh?
Fergie was known for having a rotation of 4 strikers. But in the sense of where they all get to chip in and get their moment throughout the season, whether it's the Champions League, whatever.
Savage died. Everyone's getting
everyone gets minutes.
And the thing is, I don't have a problem, with someone like Greenwood. I don't have a problem with someone like Greenwood, right? Playing off the right if there's a system in place. If it's like he's still going to be eating, still going to be getting chances. If the front three is fluid and like that, there's no issue because he was doing it last season. It's MMG. Once it starts becoming static and stuff, you're out. I'm just saying you're out of. I don't know what he said there. You're out of position. Huh?
He said MMG.
Oh, yeah, but Martial's let that one down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So do you know?
But that was when it was fluid and kind of intermittent. Them times
it's not MMG anymore. It's MG Rover. You know that old school thing with the convertible.
So yeah, bruv. Like I ain't got no issue. Like he's 19 years old. All right, let's just say you said Harry Kane's gonna be here 4 years. So what? Green will be what? 23.
23, 24, planned for
24.
Plenty of time to take over.
Plenty of time to take over.
But then what I mean is in the sense of we've seen how ruthless this game is. You stall for 2 years, for 3 years. I'll give you an example. Moise Kean was seen as a top talent coming out of Juve, one of the best under whatever they were saying. Stagnated 1 year at Everton. Everyone was writing him off as if he's flopped. Yeah. Now he's had this kind of rejuvenation period at PSG, and everyone's like, "Oh, it looks good again." But you can stagnate and people can write you off. He's loan.
Do you know what? I hear what you're saying, but do you know what I feel like the issue with that one is, and I don't want to bring the whole Lingard thing into it. I feel like sometimes footballers need to find home. You know, where it's kind of like I can perform regularly, like I feel comfortable, and I can just go. With Everton, he thought that was. Remember, they did the whole thing. You got racially abused and everything, but he wasn't getting game time, and it's like for him, that's why he disappeared. With Greenwood,
I'm pretty sure a low move.
Yeah, you don't need to put.
I feel like he's one of them players.
I mean, like,
if there was ever a case that
Everton or something
you could
like
do something mad that would make, he's like we said, if United were where United need to be, you're playing 60 games, you're competing Champions League, you're competing for all of the trophies, right? Yeah. Greenwood is definitely playing. Yeah. If you're doing what United are doing, where you're not kind of playing all them games, then it looks like hold on. It's compressed, but
he's gonna come out of this stronger, bro. Yeah. That's all you have to see. If he's weak mentality, he'll come out of this broken. Yeah. If he's got strong, like if he did have a weak mentality, I don't want to call him weak. That's harsh. If he had I don't know what the word to use. Yeah, fragile mentality, right? Maybe this season has exposed that. All right. Now it's just time for him to get back his confidence and realize, listen, football's a dirty game. They don't care about you. Look at Cho. They don't care about you, bro. Once upon a time, you were that guy. Now they don't care, bro. So this is how it is. Like, he's going to have to learn these things. And now he has learned it. They don't care. You can give you that type of different mentality. Next season, bro, I keep saying it takes one goal. It takes a few goals to change narratives. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, you're going to start saying, oh, no, do you know what? To be fair,
Havertz is a great example.
Exactly, but look at let's just quickly look at Harry Kane, for example. Everyone says he's not a big game player, yeah?
You enjoyed that a little too much.
everyone says Harry Kane's not a big game player, whatever, right? He's not got them moments. I agree in terms of Harry Kane hasn't got them iconic Drogba moment or something. He's the highest scoring player in the North London derby. He's got goals against Juventus, Barcelona, Dortmund. He's got goals against the whole of the top six and stuff, right? All it takes is one goal. Yeah, let's say he does move to any team he goes to. Or even, let's say, the Carabao Cup on
Scores 2 in the final.
All it takes is one goal, and that whole narrative about Harry Kane doesn't do in the game changes. Narratives are forced in football. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And it takes one moment to change it, and that's the same thing with Mason Greenwood. And you were just touching on it with Havertz, bro. Now people are saying,
"Oh, he's got all the bully. He's got what?
Maybe false nine. Lampard was playing him here and there." Oh, stop it, man! You guys just sleep on quality immediately. That's what it is.
What you just said there, I feel like ballers are ballers. Like ballers are ballers. Don't get me wrong. There's people that have like amazing talent. There's people that have like good talent, but they're not in the right sort of situation. But that's still fine because if they go to the right situation, you can see it. Jesse Lingard, prime example. Like I feel like the conversation always with him was potential. I know he did the loan moves early on, and it was like, is he at the level where he needs to be for Manchester United of their standard? And people like maybe no. He goes to West Ham where he is the man, and you see a totally different player. Yes, some people might say it's form. But I can see someone that's confident in what they're doing. And it's like, this is me. I'm home.
But you see with people like Jesse Lingard, right? Like even like with me, the reason why I will say someone like I wouldn't compare a Lingard to like a Havertz or a
no, that's what I'm saying. It's different. There's quality, and then I'm saying even if you believe someone doesn't have the best quality, when they go where their quality matches where they're around and everything, they find some people, a lot of people call it finding the level or comfort zone or just being in that place where it's like, you know what, I can operate. It's like same with
football's such a confidence game.
100%. It's like
it's such a confidence game.
I think we always talk about it with like people like Miroslav Klose and whatnot, club career. Won't do much, but when it comes to that zone of being in the international tournament, do or die anything, I'm comfortable. No one's outscoring me.
Honestly, it's like confidence is crazy. Who would have thought Gundogan all of a sudden turns into baby Lampard? Who would have thought Kelechi? This is the first time he started 6 games in a row
in his career.
And he's carrying Jamie Vardy. I'm gonna get onto Jamie Vardy later, but he's carrying Jamie Vardy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Bro. Look at what he's doing. Sometimes, bro, like anything he does now, he can't miss. Jesse Lingard, he can't miss. You know what I mean? Sometimes
and even when they do, like there was one chance that Inyatra took in the game, and I was like, right, he swung it, the ball was spiraling. That didn't knock his head down because he's like, hold on, what?
Oh,
Next one. I'm scoring, man.
Bro, like, and
there's a certain zone that when ballers find that zone because of like, and it's not just about like their talent, it's about the environment around you.
Bro, have you ever
manager plays a key part in that.
I was just about to say, have you ever been playing, at any level that you play at, you're on like decent form, and like in training, let's say something's happening in training, you just start seeing your manager say something like, "Nah, quick, get the ball to Maze," and then let him. You're like, "Yo, this is
like me, you know?
You know what I mean?
It's a boost. It's a battery pack.
And bro, in training, they might be saying like, "Get down the line, put it into Kelechi." Like he's probably looking around like,
I'm becoming the man.
Bruv. Now all of a sudden, Vardy. Yeah, I mean,
the thing is, and for me, there's another side of it because we were saying like top ability, decent ability. There's another side of it, and I don't to phrase it right. It's about players that if you apply them in like the right way. And I think we've mentioned it before, like someone like Antonio. You wouldn't say Antonio has all the ability in the world. You wouldn't say he's like this sick and everything, but
a system player.
Not even system, but
play to the strengths.
Playing to the strengths, and the manager understands that. The manager's not going to say, you know what, I want you to run channels and anything. Listen, Antonio's good at this. Do this and we'll be fine. Look how Antonio was carrying.
But there's a lot of players like that. I think Vardy's that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think Calvert-Lewin is that.
Yep.
I think Antonio is that.
We could name loads, bro.
I think there's loads of players that are like that, where it's like, play to this guy's strengths and you'll get some great out of them. Who?
Barnes and Woods.
To a certain extent.
Barnes and Woods, like, you take them.
That little run he did with the cutback. I've not seen him do that before. He might be involved in this game a little bit still. He might be involved.
Bro, don't I hype Woods? You might know Barnes and Woods, bro. Bars. I'm telling you, bro. But but everything that you're saying, it's correct. But only thing, with Lingard, that like with the Lingard thing that you said is, I feel like it's a bit of a disservice to what he's doing, right? Let's not be in the heat at the moment. Lingard's not going to play like this forever.
No.
I'm sorry. He's not. Yeah, I mean, but I feel like it's a bit of a disservice. I feel like everyone's just like, he's found his level. But everyone that leaves Man United are doing well. I just think this club is a bit poisonous, bro. And for me, I'm going to be real. I was like, yo, Lingard looks awful out here. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm still going to be real. I don't think Lingard is some crazy talent. I don't. Do you know what I mean? I think, as you said, that he's getting, that maybe the club are playing to his strengths and stuff. But I think when people are saying he's found his level, that's not necessarily.
That's why I was careful.
I feel like that's a bit of a
finding your level for me.
It's a bit of like a
negative connotation to finding your level.
How teams play United versus how teams play West Ham helps him as
There's
well.
part of that
because I feel like with United, teams will put 11 men behind the ball, and he doesn't have those. He's someone I feel like needs a lot of space to run into and drive into.
Looking like
And then at West Ham, teams are happy to press up, and he's having all the space. That's what Antonio exploits as well. And even like the Arnautovic, like a season or two ago, them wide Bowen does that a lot now as well. But I feel like because he's got that extra bit of space to run into at West Ham,
it comes back to what we said about the manager thing. Like David Moyes had him for maybe a preseason. Well, to be fair, you mentioned something about
the thing is with Serie A, it's always been a hard league for strikers to score. That's how I've seen it. So the fact that he's doing well there, I'm just a bit like, I've got to give him his flowers. Like, and the fact that they're storming the league as well.
Go on.
I think the point you're making, I agree with you. When the top teams play the smaller teams,
you have to have a more well-rounded game. You've got to be able to play your back to goal, pass the ball, these things. When you play for the lesser teams, you can have bits of your game that are not good. But because they play you in a way you have more freedom, you can do
But the only thing is, the one thing is though, Lingard has shown a small moment of this type of form at United.
With
And
the
we were
semi-final
goals.
goals.
That we finished second. He scored an FA Cup final winner. So I don't know. Lingard's a weird player, man. I
always feel like, and maybe it's just me in my head, I feel like fan union level just has some sort of negative connotation because it's like you fall down. What I'm trying to say is, if you're in a pressure, like a high pressure environment where you're not getting look in, it doesn't seem like, you can play week in, week out because it was sporadic. And then you go somewhere where someone understands you, like what you said, those circumstances come in and you're playing week in, week out and you're getting the opportunity to build a confidence. And even if you were to have a stinker, it doesn't matter. You're not going to get substituted because everyone knows that, you know what, this is a guy. I just feel like
when you say fan your level, we're going on like he's...
No, it is, but...
Yeah.
Of course. No.
Yeah, see,
100%.
The only thing that I can agree with the term finding your level is the pressures that come for playing for a big club. But the only thing is that when you say level, it's like he's still playing at Premier League level. Man United, a Premier League club. He's still the same clubs that we are not breaking down. He's banging goals again. Like I guess scored more goals than Martial, Cavani, and Greenwood.
When it comes to
England since the start of the year,
you know what I mean?
I don't even want to overdo it, but
like
you see what Bruno did, and like that's what they're trying to relate to now because like this guy came in and changed the fortune.
It's not like he's dropped down to the. It's not like he's dropped down to the Championship and he's doing it.
There's what it is outside the top six.
No, it's the expectation. United are always going to be, as a big club, expected to come. It's like, okay, this is cool, but now go and do that in Champions League. It's like Bruno. You know when Bruno's not playing
family issues and stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. But you know when Bruno's not performing against top six sides, they'll say that. Listen, it's great to do all of that stuff that you're doing, but the expectation that United is you have to then deliver against, in the Champions League and this and that. Same thing they said with Lukaku. It's all right for Lukaku to score, but in high pressure moments, are you going to deliver? Because United are a club that expects of that. With West Ham, similar to the Leicester thing, if they didn't finish top 4, they'll be like, okay, you know what?
But do you know why I say this?
So the expectation is different, and therefore the lens that you look at it with, it's like, okay, if you fall short, we're not going to criticize you.
The thing is, to be honest, it's probably because it's Man United, that I would have probably agreed if it was at other teams. It's just the fact that not many guys are thriving individually like that. Not many guys are thriving like that in Man United's attack anyway. So when it's like, oh, he's gone to go find his level, but it's like, yeah, but okay, let's say for example now, if Martial now leaves Man United, everyone's saying he's dusted, If Martial leaves Man United and goes bangs bare goals, we're just gonna do what we just did with Lukaku. It's Man United's fault. No. Wait, hold on. Wait. We'll say it's Man United's fault. If Dan James, whoever goes away,
goes to Leeds and does murderable,
we'll start saying it's Man United's fault. So it's just kind of like, how come with Lingard, it's like now he just found his level.
For me, it's
why is it not Man United's fault? We don't put people in the best way.
An ample opportunity. I feel like Lingard maybe wasn't given as much of that maybe the last year or so. He had definitely a run where he played himself out of the side.
But didn't Lukaku?
Who's that?
Didn't Lukaku have enough opportunities at Man United?
What was it? The second season where he didn't put up as many numbers.
Yeah, and then he left, and then now everyone's saying easy chances. Now 100%. Everyone's saying it's Man United's fault. But why is it not he's gone to go find his level?
Because at the same time, that second season I felt like was a very disjointed season for you lot. If that makes sense, as a club as a whole, was that not the season Jose left? Ole came in.
For me, there's another part of this, and it comes back not to relate to the Arsenal thing, but when we talk about where a club think they are and the perception of it. The perception for me with United is United feel like, and they should be battling for everything. But the real likelihood of it is, are you going to compete for Champions League? Not really. City are way dominant. Are you going to really compete with them? No. So when you know what we was talking about when United finished second, it's like, but we finished second, we're close enough. There's still such a big gap. And if we're being real, the players that should be at United, the way they're thinking is, you have to be aiming to close that gap or overcome it. So it then makes things look a bit somehow. Like with Lukaku, if we're being real, Lukaku tried in his time at United, but it wasn't enough because of what United wanted to achieve.
My thing is, just to the last bit, which I agree with, my last bit is, if everyone was flying at Manchester United and Lingard was struggling, like let's say he played for City and everyone's flying, Foden's eating, Bernardo's eating, Mahrez eating, everyone's eating, and he was struggling in that team, and then he went to West Ham and was shining, I'll be like, he's found his level. But the fact that not everyone is shining at Man United and he's gone on and he's going to go shine somewhere else, it just makes me, when they say, oh, he's gone to go find his level, it's like, nah, but it's the grass ain't even green in our backyard right now anyway. So
there's one thing I wanted to ask, because I've not really seen a conversation on it before, and we don't have to spend too long on it. You know, we always talk about how players can improve year on year. And one thing we always say about Ole as a manager, coach, whatever you want to call him, is in terms of the motivation and that sort of stuff, he's good. Like we said about this game today, it looks like he can get players up for a game, but it's his tactical coaching side which is always like questioned. Do you think that if a manager is in a job, especially a job of that high profile, that they can improve during their tenure in terms of their coaching and tactical ability?
Well, as a manager to grow as
whilst they're in the role?
Definitely, you can definitely do that. And the best example is Zidane. Bro. Yeah. When he walked into the job, everyone just said, "Hey, he's just there. He's just vibes, and I'm a legend." Man, go out there and play. Ronaldo, hat trick. Lovely. You know what I mean? We're all eating today. You know what I mean? Ronaldo's got another hat trick. You know what I mean? That's how everyone saw him.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Ronaldo leaves. He wins another La Liga. All of a sudden, he's in the title race.
Have you got the big game thing on your phone?
I think they're top now, isn't it?
Oh,
big game thing. That was quite impressive.
Page, yeah. If you look at what he's doing, like he's showing tactical nous now. Well, I've always thought he's been decent in terms of adapting his tactics per game. But now you're seeing it a lot more. Real Madrid have had over 50 injuries this season. Three of their starting back four are gone. He's starting to show a different side to him, as well as last season, that I don't think I was seeing when he just had Ramos doing clutch, Ronaldo doing hatty, Benzema moving crazy, from, like, prime Modric, prime thingy.
It was more like man management of kind of the stars or whatever. I feel like the profile of some of the players have dipped a little bit, and the fact that he's
not Galacticos, we're being
real. And they're not as gung ho as they used to be. Now they're more grinding results out, and they're actually gritty and hard to break down. So I'm like, I actually credit when a manager's able to be flexible like that. I would say
he's been able to come in and like we question Bale. Sorry, man, you're not my guy. Odegaard,
James.
You can go on loan. Ceballos, brother, you can go on loan.
He's been ruthless,
bro.
He's been ruthless.
Isco, you wanna be doing this weight
like
things? Sit on the bench, bro.
Overweight Viking.
Literally, sit on the bench. Like the guy has made the guy's made big decisions. And so far it's paying off. Played against Liverpool. You know what I mean? Bro, let's not forget, this is 35-year-old Modric. This isn't prime Modric.
Bro.
This is 35-year-old Modric. And do you remember when they lost last season against Man City, everyone was saying, oh, this is why KDB is just clear. Like, he's this. And now I'm hearing people talk about, oh, Modric is so good again. It's like, you guys are flip-floppers anyway, but whatever. But
bro, do you remember Sim de Jong when the Ajax team knocked out Madrid and they were posting that picture all around saying,
that wasn't Zidane though. That wasn't Zidane against Ajax.
No, but he's just saying in general.
I'm saying Modric. They were saying like he's done out.
Oh, because he was slipping. Because de Jong was going past
de Jong. Yeah. They were ready to wash him.
Bro, everyone was ready to say that Real Madrid need a rebuild. Remember all the talks about Pogba? Pogba's got to come in. He's got to come into that team because Kroos and things are done out here.
Will rejuvenate it.
Exactly, and I just think that's a good question. I do think you can grow, but listen, do you need patience? Has people got patience for that?
So you're asking that Oli?
I'm asking that because of Oli. Because
Zidane was winning though. Zidane had already. He's got.
So is that the difference?
That is the difference.
The winning gives you
got a track record. Yeah,
you've got to see the progression.
You've got a track record. And he's a three-peat.
You've said multiple times you don't think you've seen the progress in United this year from last year, let alone during his tenure.
Can I give the?
I was gonna say, statistically, you can't argue that there has been progress.
Yes.
The thing is, but the thing
numbers don't lie, bro.
This is why football, This is why football is like football is quickly get out the Premier League table. Yeah. This is why football is an amazing sport because statistically, we're gonna end on more points than we did last season. Wait, how many points have we got now? 63?
You were on 63.
And how many games is left?
You got 7 games left.
Last season we had 66 points. So we're gonna clear our point total of last season. So you're gonna instantly say, all right, that's progress. But we were in the Champions League. We were meant to be a Champions League team. We're in the Europa League for a reason because we weren't good enough in the big moments. Well, I can't even call it big moment, but when you look back at it now, Istanbul, you don't lose against them. PSG, Leipzig, you go and lose. Those are big matches that make quarterfinal against Leicester. You go and lose.
Yeah.
Carling Cup, we lost again. I can't even remember who we lost to. this season. Was it Man City maybe?
To be fair, we know the semi-final record is
exactly.
bad.
So he still hasn't overcome that, by the way.
Yeah.
And okay, going to win the what I tweeted yesterday. Somebody said that Rick the Red guy tweeted, if we hadn't lost against West Brom, if we hadn't dropped points against West Brom, Everton, and what's the other team? Sheffield United. Yeah. We will be 7 points Man City with 2 games in hand or some rubbish like that. But I was like, bro, if it wasn't them 3 games, it would have been a different 3 games. Yeah. We just weren't ready for a title race. It's as simple as that. Our mentality wasn't ready. We weren't ready for a title race. And that's why for me, the progress isn't as big as people would like to make out. You look at what Chelsea are doing. Chelsea are probably going to come back stronger next season. Liverpool, I'm actually starting to have my doubts if they're actually going to come back crazy next season, but let's see. I don't think I would get... If progress for me, our next season, we should be like, City, let's go blow to blow. I don't know if it's that. I still think we got to be looking at, Chelsea are coming.
And we're going to move to City now, but the reason why it's so hard is I sometimes feel like we have conversations where we'll be like, like randomly, Chelsea have to be within 2 points of the thing. Sometimes I feel like the points tally, it can kind of cover a lot of stuff. It
does.
But
that's why people think the best champions are the ones that have the most points.
And it's not always that. I feel like it's kind of how your team is. No, it's like saying, okay, Liverpool.
What are we talking about?
No, it's like saying Liverpool, the team that last season is the second best Premier League team ever,
because of
their point tally,
because of the context of everything that's
involved. That's what I'm saying.
And I feel like with United, this might be anything, but with the context of City being who City are, do we have to hold that into account where it's a very big job to even try and, say you want to be close to that? Or is that just kind of, if Man United have to be there and he has to deliver?
Like, look, in the grand scheme, no one this season said we're gonna win the league or we should be.
That's debatable, but
what we did say, what we do. The thing is, we watch Man United every week, we watch Man United every single season, every week. You can see there's the lack of progression in our gameplay. You can see the same mistakes that are being made tactically. Yeah, you can still see
still taking like 90 minutes to be made.
Exactly, you can see the regression. Bro, listen. There's a big regression in Martial. There's a regression in Greenwood. There was Cavani's just doing what he needs to do. He's not really doing much. Nothing's really... There's a lot of things that I'm telling you...
Because last year there was this... What's the opposite of regression? Progression? Yeah. There was a progression in Martial and Rashford. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure. Because last year Martial and Rashford were like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah. Rashford's still doing his thing numbers-wise.
Not here, but like...
Performance-wise, it still feels like... He's just having to pick his moment. Bruno, pick his moments. It doesn't feel
cohesive. The last couple of games as well.
He scored in the last match.
Granada and Granada.
I guess it's one with this one. I guess it's one that he's going to be there next season.
He had a little patch in that.
But speaking on City, of course, Pep had gone Bucky's his spiritual dad, and interesting result for me. The key takeaway for me for this is they are. Why am I on last year's thing?
Who did they lose to again?
Leeds,
man.
Leeds are 10th. They are level on points with Arsenal, 45 points. They have 7 games left. I thought at the beginning of the season, I said to production, I see them finishing 10th with 50. They're gonna get past 50.
Good guess.
They're going to get past 50, which is a
top half as well, potentially top half.
Good season.
So they'd have above relegation, but
you don't know ball, bro.
What for me?
Norwich ball.
For me, what's so interesting is, and again, you were saying some stuff here. Yo,
this guy was disrespectful.
I remember when you were saying the whole Bielsa, we were saying that the whole sort of top 3 coach and everything was too far, but I remember Burnley finished 10th with 50 points last year, and they played a negative brand of football. Well, not negative, it was very stale. Basic players. This is the flip reverse of it. It's basic players, exciting or sort of exuberant brand of football, but still delivering. What are our thoughts on the way they beat City and just their season on the whole? Because sometimes you always talk about them about murderable, but just Leeds United finishing potentially top half, potentially if things go well, finishing above Arsenal, maybe even catching up to Everton because they're only 2 points behind. They're not too far off from you as well, and you guys got some interesting game.
Pretenders, mate.
Pretenders. But what are our thoughts on?
They're the biggest pretenders in Premier League. Notoriously, bro, they are.
Tell you what, the question I'm trying to answer is what are our thoughts on Leeds United season?
Great season, bro. Great season. And the thing that I like about it is that you mentioned Sean Dyche and Burnley, right? That's something I would probably say the team are playing to their strengths. As you said, he's got guys, not that quality, doesn't really keep the ball on the floor. Just, you know what I mean? Let them work for it and be different, hard to beat. But you're looking at the guys at Leeds. For me, they're playing all max of their potential, bro. I think he's getting the max out of these guys. You take Stuart Dallas and pluck him anywhere in the team, anywhere in the league, you'll just be like, okay. You know I mean, you pluck for me, Bamford is being massively boosted.
He could get 20 goals this season.
Yeah, I don't think Bamford's that good. I think he's in a great system, attacking system, loads of chances, and he scores. I don't have him as like, I don't even see him as good as Ings. Like, I don't personally, but you do have some quality in Rafinha, like surprise package, I guess, for people. He's been class. But I feel like you take Ayling, all these guys, put them elsewhere, and you'll just be like, they're average, bro. But when they're in their team, bro, they're popping ball, bro. They're going past you. When you play Leeds, you have to work, bro.
It's a long day.
You have to work because them man are relentless with the press. They go into the 90th minute. Look at the goal they scored it was the 90th minute.
They were down to 10 men whole set.
And they're still playing.
And they were playing like they still had 11 men.
A side of them that people said that, people said that Leeds are floodgates this season. They went to the Etihad with 10 men.
That's what impressed me the most. And then it's the shit housing that is very un-Bielsa-like to go and snatch it at the end as well. I was like...
You never see Bielsa smile, but he smiled that time. He was like...
Listen.
But do you know... Oh, shit. Do you know what that comes... Do you know what that comes to, though? Like, and we don't maybe see it a lot in football because we don't see these people playing against like their sort of philosophical fathers and everything. That comes to someone saying, you know what, brother, I know you. I birthed you.
Do you think there's a possibility, though, that Pep was like...
Well, I want to pay tribute.
Let me just boost your legacy a little bit more. Give you...
Come on, man. Fuad, you're better than that.
I know you're my father. I know you're down to 10 men. Here's a little something. I'm good. I'm going to win the title anyway.
Do you know what it is?
You up, we up.
We up. Yeah, I mean, everybody get to eat. We all eat.
I think City got to... First, he didn't play his strongest team, but that team, bro, probably still finished in the top 3, mate. You know what I mean? With the team that he started. But... when you look at, I think City got a little bit complacent. They saw 10 men and thought we're gonna win the game anyway. Yeah. I was seeing Stones take about 4 long shots. Bro. Thought he was Gerrard in that game. Do you know what I mean? It's like, mate, you're a defender and you got cooked for the goal.
Sterling was not on.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So don't forget that you're still a centre back. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because when I saw it, I was like,
defense. And man said, don't let that hype go up to your brain.
Bro, you know what I mean? Because let's be honest, like we always say, I think we Pep's a great manager, right? Pep's a great manager, but people keep like, you know, getting back. People still keep getting at me like, oh,
you better get ready for a long month, bro.
People still be getting at me like, oh, but you said they don't have that many world-class players and look what they're doing. It's like, bro, my mind's not changed, bro. It's not changed. I just think you've got a fantastic manager. You've got your balance between anyone else. You've got a bag of like good to very good players. But you're talking about the top world class. Like Stones is playing out of his skin this season, but I still don't think he's that great I don't think he's that great of a player. Yeah, I mean, when you still attack someone like John Stones, for me, still vulnerable. But the systems is everything.
My question to you though is, with Leeds, you said they're maximising everything. They're getting the max out of them.
Same with
they're 10th now with 50th. And you've seen Bielsa's style of play is very tough. They've been doing that now for what, 2-3 seasons? Is there going to come a point? So next season, my thing is, are they going to do the same thing they've done this year? Do they take a progression step, or does it finally hit that wall? And let's say their ability resets them back to their level. Because second season in the Premier League, second season in the Premier League is always different. And is he? I know the Leeds team have money, so they probably add a few additions. But if they lose someone like Rafinha, like Harrison is on loan, if I'm not mistaken.
You raised an interesting point, and for me, I don't want to compare it to Wolves because Wolves had a really good season when they came in and everything.
Wolves had a lot of quality as well, man.
But that's still doing their thing. Only 12.
Yeah, but no, but with theirs, like him, you took Jimenez out and you saw something, and the style of football is very mundane. Like, and it is what it is. They got, but with Leeds, I think there's always been this question mark about if you had high quality players, could you play this brand of football? I feel like that's always been a question of, would you, if you had like really talented players and everything, could you run them through the ground like this? And it's about how do Leeds then...
It's getting that blend.
It's all about the profile
of
player.
course,
Look at
of course.
Rafinha, brother. This guy's running everywhere, bro.
Of course.
Look at the quality
But
still possesses.
that has to be a really good recruitment job. Similar to what we've always said about Leicester managing to get the right pieces.
Has to be.
But do you remember like when
job
Poch first came at Spurs as well? He had like guys like Eriksen doing all these hard yards. I feel like there's managers that are capable of dragging that out of the technical. I remember like even like someone like Sanchez. Sanchez would run for a brick wall. Certain players have that profile where they're technically good enough.
Forgetting?
Go on production.
Pep had Messi running into the ground, bro. Pep had Messi.
Yeah, and then Pep
now,
left and he started Mr. Stroller.
Bro, Messi.
Bro,
Pep had Messi, Iniesta, and Xavi doing
Geigen press.
That man ain't known for pressing.
What was he saying?
I think, if Bielsa played in the Champions League, this Leeds, they will struggle. I don't think you can play.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not quality enough, innit?
No, I'm so if he had the best players, me and you had that conversation, and we said Bielsa could never manage a top.
No, that was you two. That wasn't me.
Me and you. And I was saying to you, I don't think Bielsa can manage like a Man City and Chelsea. That style of play is too wild to manage a top.
It's too volatile.
I think he's getting. I think it's.
Champions League and he played Europe, and you add those extra games. Do you not think
this game, for me, this last game, he showed that he can shift things a little bit.
And defensive record.
And the thing is, I think
they're
50-50,
49.
Like, yeah, I was going to say they're zero. They're literally zero. Like they'll score 2 consistently. It's enjoyable.
They're lit still. Nah, do you know what? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but does that also come down to the quality of quality of player as well? Because who's
of course.
Ailing? I don't know who else they got. Ailing. Who's their centre backs? I keep forgetting.
My thing is if
they've got people like Ali, and I'm just saying in general, they got the names of the team. Alien, Alioski. No, I'm just saying the players.
Why
in their team.
hasn't a bigger club who has those quality of players trusted him? Why hasn't a club with those quality players trusted a Bielsa?
I also think one, he hasn't won. He hasn't won anything, and two, he's a madman, bro. I think he's hard. He looks a bit difficult to work with and stuff, bro. Spygate, bro. Man sent his dog to go Derby and pre them like behind.
He's very archaic. Yeah, he's a bit of a madman.
Yeah, he's a madman, bro. Bro, like, do you think it would surprise me if Bielsa is not the manager of Leeds next season or something? Right, he can manage them next season. He'll leave like halfway through the season or whatever.
See Abramovich doing something,
bro. Huh?
Abramovich
taking
Bielsa.
Nah, you wouldn't do that. Nah, I don't think he'll do that.
On an interim thing.
It's too exciting for
like, let's go rock and roll.
It's too
I've had enough of this too shit.
It's good to see. It's good to see that this brand is actually working. Yeah, bro. But again, as you said, Sheffield United next season.
That's the real test for me. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Bielsa and Leeds. Can this style run for as many seasons as he's been there?
Do you know what I want to see?
And then also, how do you improve?
Yeah,
because that
you've got to develop
improvement.
As a team.
Yeah, I think Villa did that very well. Where maybe some of their signings a year later kind of impacted.
No, I think they did better recruitment.
Yeah,
they did better recruitment. But I'm so glad you mentioned Villa because one thing that I've noticed about a lot of teams,
I think just stay top 10, stay a top 10.
Of course.
I feel like people next season are going to start saying Leeds Europa.
Consistency, because if Wolves,
you know what I'm trying to say is that
Wolves did that finish outside 7th or 8th 2 years in a row, and it was like, hey, good consistency. Just don't plummet is my thing next season. Don't be hovering above the relegation zone, leaking goals left, right, and centre.
Like, is it fair to say that Rafinha's been like the main person?
You got Bamford. You got
because the reason why I say it is with a lot of other teams,
the keeper,
with a lot of other teams, what I've seen is like,
I'm sorry,
with Everton, like James and everything. Okay, cool. Villa, Grealish, they have not really had to deal with like majorly losing like a key figure, which is surprising with the way they play.
True.
So I want to see next season.
Calvin Phillips out for a few weeks,
but it's like I'm talking about like the enigma, like
he was brilliant against City.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah,
but
he was good.
Listen, that's that Champions.
But yeah, I know
League.
what you're saying. Let's see next.
Like,
season.
let's see. But I mean, for me,
well done though.
Yeah, like they've showed another way to do it. I don't think many other people could do that.
Still not top 3 coach.
But is this
stick to that?
Can Dortmund see a little blueprint in City's team for the Champions League? Haaland,
No. I think that was City off day. But Haaland,
speaking on Champions
punish
League,
him otherwise.
Champions League. Yeah. So thoughts on the first legs and everything coming up. Obviously, we've touched a little bit on Madrid. City, Dortmund. Well, actually, no. Let's touch on Mbappe and let's touch on Neymar because I know we were internally, it didn't go out. We were saying after that red card, it was like, bro, listen, like. you might be throwing everything away here. Like, then this game comes, and then he says, you know what? I need to let people recognize that I'm still alive. I'm not dead. That performance, that first half performance, even second half he did some stuff, but that first half performance, quality is back to what we said at the beginning of the pod. Quality is quality. Quality is quality. And do you know what I liked? I tweeted it as well. Yeah, you know the goal for Marquinhos. Yeah, the reason why I liked it so much,
quality, bro,
is because he made that run because he knows the quality his teammate possesses.
Yeah, weaker foot.
He knows his boy can do that. You know, usually you'd be thinking that he'd be like, he knows it's possible. Yeah. That's how you know that it's different. You know, certain times you get teams and everyone's saying like, oh, why doesn't this guy make the run and everything? It's because he's not sure if his boy can pull it off. And man, Neymar was still running backwards. He said, yeah, I know my guy. I know my guy. And then I'm like, the way he finished it as well, and then he comes off.
Touch.
But listen, Neymar, I've always said it, after this whole Ballon d'Or, Ronaldo, Messi thing, we always said that this guy was the guy that possessed the quality, and there's the time's not over yet, but he has to own the ship. Like Mbappe's gonna do what Mbappe does. Mbappe's gonna get people to speak about him because he's young and everything.
Ballon d'Or, we coming.
But Neymar has to. He's not owning, but Mbappe's shining. I don't think shining on him, but Neymar has to own the moment. Like if you look at all of the moments that Neymar's had, it's like he's had to go over and beyond. Like, was it the PSG game? Yeah, he's always had to go over and beyond. It's not just him doing him. Yeah. He has to outshine everyone else, and that's because of where he's found himself. But if he's gonna get it done, that's the cards he's been dealt.
Bro, with Neymar, yeah. One, he gets injured too much. You're never gonna win a Ballon d'Or if you're not playing.
You have to. It's a campaign. It's a campaign.
It's as simple as that. You're not gonna win a Ballon d'Or if you're not playing. But I just think when you watch when Mbappe and Neymar are on the same pitch, you always know who the best player is, bro. No matter what, I think Mbappe is going to be ridiculous, and he could be one of the Ballon d'Or winners this year, especially if France do something great. But still, for me, as a player, as a talent, Neymar's still better. I know people are going to say, why are you talking about talent when he's 20, whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about ability-wise. And when you see in the game, and in a game like that, you saw two moments of quality. One put Mbappe through, the other one put Marquinhos through, yeah? He didn't have a good Champions League final, but you still look at the Champions League campaign to get through, and Neymar was still better than Mbappe. And I'm not trying to compare these two against, I'm not trying to pin them against each other, but I think there's people kind of forget what Neymar is, because like me, I think it was at PSG, unless you win the Champions League, no one's ever going to validate that transfer. Yeah, I mean, no one's going to validate that transfer, because it's like, brother, you could have been doing it in the La Liga with Barcelona, higher profile, blah, blah, blah. You probably had a better chance of winning the Ballon d'Or there, even though you're with Messi. But remember when he left, it was kind of a point where people were like, give the keys to Neymar. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So now you go to a team like PSG where it's like, bruv, like no one's watching the French league and he's injured. And then Tuchel said something about him. He said, he doesn't get himself up for games against lesser opponents, but when it's the better teams, he's always up for it. That's bad mentality, bro. You can't be like that. Ronaldo wants to score 5 against Osasuna, bro. He doesn't care, and he wants to score 5 against Bayern. He doesn't think. You shouldn't think, I'm playing against FC Gihan.
Is that not the mentality?
And I'm just gonna start doing rainbow chicks and stuff.
Is that not the mentality that has stopped
good.
Neymar
Brazilians,
and Hazard
bro.
from?
Thank you, and I'm so happy you mentioned Hazard,
because they were meant to be the guys who carried the mantle after Ronaldo and Messi retired. We've now seen it decline, and it's almost like we just skipped them and went straight to Haaland and Mbappe.
100.
Do you know the Haaland one is so funny as well, because that quote that always comes out where he said, I'm not worried. Is that what was the quote that he said? Production, correct me if wrong. He said, I'm not obsessed about being the best player. I just want to enjoy myself.
Hazard. Yeah.
He's on record saying that. And it's like, I get what you're trying to say, but you can be the best player and still enjoy yourself. Like, if you're possessed with that much God-given talent, like, your ceiling is different. Don't let another man who's not got your talent do this mad application and look like a different level to you. And that's why now, obviously, he's got his injuries and everything. We're in a situation now where Hazard, people forget what Hazard was. Hazard is becoming a legacy act. Neymar was almost falling into that, but he has these moments, the big moments where he always comes and he reminds you, I am Neymar. But it's like what you said, you hit the nail on the head. In order to make sure that you kind of get these accolades, it's a campaign.
It's a campaign,
same
bro.
thing with Champions League campaign. Leagues are campaigns. You have to show that consistency throughout.
All the time. And the thing is, you look at his numbers, Champions League, 66 games, 41 goals, 26 assists. So that's 70 goals and assists in 66 Champions League performances. By the way, he's also a Golden Boot winner in the Champions League. He's also a Champions League winner. He's done his thing already, but he did that so early. That's like, bro, Neymar, what we saying now? Like,
we want more.
Brother, you know what I mean? Give us more, because you look at his talent. He's Brazilian as well. The Brazilians have a different type of pressure on them, because we look at Brazilians, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, all of them have lifted.
Did they win the Copa without him as well?
Yeah, they won a Copa without him, so that didn't look good as well. So all of a sudden, you're looking like, yo, what's going on with Neymar? Yeah. But for me, when he's fit and playing, he's still a top 3 player in the world, easily, in my opinion. And one thing that Mbappe did make massive strides this season in terms of the way he capped out.
And he was cold in that game as well.
Barcelona.
He was cold in this game as well.
So it was kind of like, all right, Mbappe is really ready, because before last season, both times they went out without Neymar there. And it's like, oh, you're this star boy, golden boy. What are you saying, Mbappe? You ain't scored in it. But this season, he was like, oh, yo, hold my drink.
Chill.
I'm going to do my thing. But for me, if PSG want to go far, I hope people don't think they can go far, like they're going to go the distance without Neymar. They won't, bro.
Do you know what I would say about the Neymar
they're
PSG?
Too reliant on the two. They're still far too reliant. And I think we even touched on it on those locals, bro.
Verratti was missing, though.
Verratti was missing.
He's coming back for that.
But they're far too reliant on them. Like, is that not true?
Are you saying that at Champions League level?
100% at Champions League level. And that was their issue last year in the final, when those two big dogs were missing the chance.
Do you feel... I'll ask you this question. Do you feel that's almost like the gift and the curse of having a team? The thing is, they're performing, but is it almost a gift and a curse of, with PSG, right, in the French league, you're not going to get like, actually gone, because you're out of breath.
What I think he's doing, this is what I don't like what he does with PSG, He only puts that tax on PSG, but then we'll say, Bayern would have won that game if Lewandowski was playing.
Yeah.
Bayern are too reliant on Lewandowski.
No, Bayern are relying on Lewandowski.
On KDB,
you need your best players, of course.
That statement you said is
I was going to say, can you be reliant? Is it all right to be reliant on your best players?
But
that doesn't make any sense.
Hands down. But I feel like they pretty much, if those two miss the chance or don't turn up, it's a dunner. And Bayern, that side, even without what's his name, Lewandowski, still scored 2 goals. Like, this game is not done and dusted.
If they had Lewandowski, have his clinicalness, the amount of chances they created,
bro, they had 31 shots. You're not telling me that
Triple tried though.
Lewandowski
Like,
not
at this
being
level,
there
we have to give Triple some credit. At this
No, but
level,
I'm saying-
I was playing for Stoke. Like,
he could no.
yeah,
bro,
Lewandowski. 3 away goals is a Mazzoline though.
Yeah,
you tried to tell me midweek as well that if Lewandowski basically was there, it wouldn't have made a difference. And I'm saying they would have made a difference, bro. A potent striker like Lewandowski, I'm sorry, he can score from any angle, from any position. Of course he's going to make... And I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, like, oh, every team relies on their star players. Of course, but PSG, for maybe the last 2-3 years, their recruitment I don't think has been great. And they've been far too reliant on those two.
Can I speak to this thing quickly? Do you feel like with the French league, right?
I agree with that.
No, I hear what you're saying, and I think that's right. But with the French league being where it is, and PSG, being what PSG are, do you feel it's almost a gift and a curse? Because really and truly, to win that league, you don't need a Galactico team. But to then do well in Champions League, you probably need a bit more. Yeah. So it's like, how do you then get all of these players? Like we saw it when Icardi,
Bayern get that balance right.
Bayern get the balance right, yet... Well, yeah, Bayern are Bayern.
Because they always do deep runs in the Champions League.
And Bayern still plays from other teams.
You have to. That's what you do as a top dog.
So PSG should do it to France?
Bro,
the other teams in France?
You should be mining Lyon. Lyon's academies are gem.
You know what? Maybe that's what's missing. Maybe they're not taking the sick players in France.
Bro, you've got Mbappe,
Maybe that's
Neymar.
What's missing.
You got Mbappe, Neymar, and then you got like Di Maria, who's still a good player.
Yeah.
But then you've got a midfield of Herrera, who's average, and you've got
Idrissa,
Diallo, who's not all that. Idrissa, not all that. Yeah, I mean,
got back out right back.
Yeah, that's it. I get what you're saying. The squad building has been the squad building hasn't been great.
Even like Moise Kean, when they picked him up, it wasn't like they didn't expect what he's gonna do this year. It's like I feel like the recruitment hasn't been there. When you've got players like Neymar and Mbappe, as we're saying, his move is not gonna get validated till he wins that Champions League. What are you now going to do to put them in that position to win?
Can I say something on that?
The one leg thing, as I said, possibly helped them, but you might not get that situation.
See with the Neymar move,
is it even going to get better? Given you got to give Neymar a new deal. I think he signed it actually, and then you're trying to give Mbappe a new deal, bro. That's wages mental.
You see with the Neymar thing, we don't have to go into it too tough, but I feel like I hear what you're saying about the move being validated, but I feel like with some circumstances, you have to look at the context. The general thing is always going to be like, you left there and you didn't do what you needed to do here. But with this guy, yeah, with the two people that were ahead of him, he kind of thought, you know what, I want to pave my own legacy.
I don't believe that.
No,
I'm just
saying in terms of a way you could view it. I want to pave my own legacy, and you have to remember Brazilians are a bit different as well. Brazilians are
money hungry,
or Brazilians are known to go and play.
Bro,
but they're known about they're known about family and stuff as well. Like remember there was a time where bare Brazilians were going off to China because like there's Brazilians there, there's man them there. And there's money as well. So like with him, yeah, like obviously we have a view of how it could be, but in his head, it's like, this is what I believe that this is a legacy to me. Remember, there's legacy to what people think of football. There's his personal legacy. He went to Puma, did Puma King and whatnot. He went to PSG and, he could potentially still do something. He might retire after that and be like, you know what?
Boom. No, 100%. It's a good
and
example.
There's been Brazilians that have played there as well.
A good example is Russell Westbrook in basketball terms. The other day, he was like, I'm a champion in life, bro. Okay, I haven't got a ring, but I'm a champion in life. I help my community. I've got kids. I'm set for life. I'm a champion in life. You guys can continue, Stephen A. You can continue saying, I got to do this and I can't do this or whatever. But I'm a champion in life. Like a championship is great to me, right? But it's not my lifetime ambition. It's not my goal in life to validate my life. Same thing with Neymar. It's not his life. It's probably not his lifetime ambition I have to win a Champions League with PSG or whatever. But the whole he left because he wanted to shine in his own team. I don't believe that, man. They cracked his world record fee, which was 227 million. They gave his flipping dad 40 million, let alone how much they probably gave him. Bro, it was a money move. Simple. That's what it is for me. It was a money move. And now, on footballing terms, people are like, hold on.
They have to make it successful.
Go and deliver. Because you look at Neymar's legacy. Why is someone as good as Neymar, who, you know how much of a fan I am of Neymar, but why is someone as good as Neymar still questioned? Because of the move like this. Because of you're playing in your prime in a league that Hazard dominated when he was 20. I mean, you're doing. Who goes to France to play in your prime, especially when you're a generational talent and you're from the Brazilian line who they want Ballon d'Ors. Obviously, it's hard for his generation of Brazilians.
When he was there?
Not that old. Ronaldinho went to Barcelona.
And then he left to...
Exactly.
So he basically did the flip reverse.
Exactly. That's why there's question marks. And it's going to be hard to win a World Cup with Brazil. I tweeted the other day, if he doesn't win a World Cup or Champions League with PSG, I'm telling you, people are going to look back at Neymar's career about how good he is and where they think he could have been and have question marks. Me personally, I probably won't because I just appreciate how good he is. But when you're that good,
do you know the easiest way to sum it up though? Yeah, you see, when you're that good, you just get held to those sort of levels.
Those standards.
It's unfortunate, but that's what comes with greatness.
The gate so early, so good.
That's what comes with greatness, man.
You're held to.
Like there's certain men that will never have to have that sort of question over their head because they just don't have that ability of greatness for us to be looking at it. So that
bro, it is what it is. But but I mean, that's the PSG. Is the
quickly? There's obviously Porto showed that they were a good team. I'm actually happy that the game went like that, so people realize that Porto are not a joke. There's a lot of teams that will go up against Porto and be like and have a hard day. So, but I mean, fair play to get on the 2-0. What other games were there? Dortmund. You were saying that can they take Leeds' game plan?
No, not game plan. Maybe, even though it's at home, innit? So they're probably going to attack more. They're definitely going to concede. But it's just about how much can they just rattle off some goals? Who knows?
City have rested KDB, Foden for this as well. So man are going to come fully charged.
I'm sure you guys probably touched Foden, right?
Oh yeah, we touched on Foden's magic, man.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not much that needs to be said there, right? I mean, if you don't know, you know now. Let's quickly touch on Clasico.
Jeez, what a game, bruv.
Quality game.
That was a sick
even with
game.
the mad weather.
Quality.
No, we did a little bit.
A little bit on the Zidane,
touched
innit?
a little bit. Touched a little bit.
Liverpool, though, bro. Just give me something about it.
I'll sum it up like this, and I think I tweeted it. Before the game, there was a lot of talk on Varane and everyone else missing and everything. And that's why in football, it's very good not to have a short memory. Because the whole thing that Liverpool fans have been saying is we're missing our big centre-backs and everything. And I went on the Liverpool channel and I said it once. I said, it's great that you had the result that you had where Nat Phillips was headering the ball and everything, but Nat Phillips and Kabak are not, what they need to be. So when it comes to big opposition and everything, we're going to see who's on what. And unfortunately, in that game, we really saw who's on what.
We saw Real heritage.
Yeah.
Real Champions League heritage.
And it's what we said 2 weeks ago about Liverpool, this ain't a done tie. Like these are two teams with Champions League heritage. The tie's not even done yet, but it's not a walk in the park. It's not a confirmed thing.
Listen, they got beaten at Anfield with the crowd by the other Madrid.
I'm just saying.
Bro, I just think...
He wasn't even at the Santiago, you know? It was at the... What's the stadium called?
It was at the Valdebebas. Alfredo Di
Stefano,
Stadium,
yeah. Bro, Klopp is getting away with it though. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about how good Real Madrid is. We'll talk about Kabak and Thingy not being quality enough. I just don't know why Kabak and Nat Phillips, I said it on Dos Locos, why is Kabak and Nat Phillips playing on the halfway line? Are they Van Dijk?
We said this
against Vinicius.
Against Vinicius.
But it's not just,
and then we're going to...
them.
No, but look, the long ball went over the top, between Trent and Nat Phillips or whatever. I don't get... The Real Madrid were getting in behind time and time again. I don't get why... Again, we can talk about injuries as much as we want, but when is Klopp going to adjust his tactics to the players that he has? When is he? Kabak and Nat Phillips are slow, bro. Drop 10 yards, bruv. Drop 10, 15 yards. Simple as that. Why is it...
change with Keita in the middle?
Pardon?
And that was completely...
And then he made the sub at the 33rd minute.
I said it, yeah, and I'm not even trying to be rude.
He had a mare out there, bro.
Keita came to the UK to plant churches. That's what he came in for.
But except from him.
KICC man them. He came to plant churches and evangelize the word. That's what he's here for. He's not here to kick the ball.
Bro, I'm telling you now, yeah.
What?
What did you say?
What?
What did you say?
Guy's...
We moved.
I didn't even hear what he said.
Whoa, buddy. Whoa. No. He didn't even say it. It's just some wild accusations.
No, bro.
Whoa, buddy.
For me, Klopp is getting away with it. The players, okay, we understand Trent is going to get all the banter and everything. Everyone's going to run it on Trent, which is fun. It's fun.
You're not protecting him.
It's fun doing it. He had a howler with that mistake.
That was a howler.
It is fun, everyone doing what they're doing on Trent. But do I think Klopp is putting the best system in place to protect them players? No, I don't think so.
The thing is that when you look at those last two goals they conceded, I said it on Dos Locos.
Go check Dos Locos out.
Like the third goal came from a throw-in where man just stood there stacking. Yeah, literally. And it's like the Thiago as well when he come on. I just feel like I don't know what's going on with. He's almost like, I think I said it on Dos Locos as well. He's in a tough situation where he's trying to mix into this system, but he's a brain. It don't compute, like it doesn't work. And Klopp, I know you're trying to say a lot of it is him, but I feel like a lot of them players have not covered themselves in glory in a game like that as well. When Liverpool have this Champions League aura, as they always say, brother. Show us it against.
But when it's going well,
especially because Vinicius, shout out Vinicius as well in the Classico and in midweek, he actually balled out in both games. But he's not someone who, over the last year or so, people have said is Real Madrid's different. Yeah. At the start of the season, Benzema was playing. He's playing against us, and you've gone. These men have made him turn around, and I get the high line thing. Definitely played into his hands. He has to take some blame for that. But these men have not covered themselves in glory.
Yeah, they haven't. But I just think when it's going well, it's all Jurgen Klopp's magic. Oh, he's the best manager. It's all this. When it's going wrong, it's all the players' fault. It's all the bro, Klopp, man. Like I feel like people
player in the world. You know what I mean, Manny?
I feel like people are finding ways. I feel people are like kind of like scared to criticize Klopp because he's the champion and stuff. Whatever. We know that he had a great last season. This season, he hasn't reacted to these injuries well. He's blamed everything else as well. But he hasn't reacted to these injuries well at all, bro.
I think you're both right. I mean, even
no.
I can players' form, players' form and standards in that team have dropped. Managers' standards has dropped. That's why you're in the situation where you're in now, and it's about can we try and make sense out the rest of the season? That's where they are, because that second leg, if they lose that,
bottle jobs Leicester are giving everyone an opportunity.
Listen. If we had more time, we'd go into that. But you might want to mention them in your champ and dud of the week. Who's champ? Let's do duds of the week. Well, obviously, eternal champ is DMX, but
my champ, I would say, ASM would. I got two. ASM would be the first one. I think difference making both last week and this week. I think this week as well, that pretty much secured Newcastle.
No, this week he went crazy.
You reckon?
And well, they're 6 points clear with a game in hand.
They've got a game in hand.
With 7 games
left.
left.
They're not winning that game in hand.
We're
talking like they're bar.
Listen, the thing is Fulham are self-destructing their way.
The reason why I say they're safe here is because the part of the season where they were doing all right, Callum Wilson at ASM.
Your boy Brucey. Yo, boy, Bruce, give
today
us
was
a
it-
shot.
today was it- today was it him
You wanted
still.
to give us shots, and he was like, no.
Today
That
was
was
him
so
still.
funny.
Today was ASM.
Nah, it was ASM.
ASM
still.
came
It was
on
ASM.
and was playing like it was five-a-side,
Yeah.
bro. I said, this is different
He was
gravy.
balling.
Man went to Brexitville and said, "No, I'm giving you drip
Yeah.
sauce, whatever you want to say." He gave it, but no,
And
ASM's a good shout.
the second one of you lot might say it as well. I'd give it to Leeds. I think for that result for City going down to 10 men and then still nicking a result, credit to him, man. We've seen how many teams go down to 10 men and completely capitulate. OT, Arsenal, how many?
Yeah.
So credit to
Who's
Leeds,
yours,
man.
Cam?
And especially when it's not something we know them for.
True.
I don't know. You go first. I think.
I was gonna say mine's a bit different, but just for the sake that I thought if they drew or lost today, the dream is over. But the fact that they won, they actually make it really interesting. I would give it to David Moyes on West Ham. I didn't expect. I know that Leicester have been doing whatever,
No, that's
but
a good one.
that win today, now we can have that real conversation. Is it dreamland? Because we have to remember there was no Declan Rice, and that's what
No
everyone's been
Antonio
talking
as
about.
well.
No Antonio. You had Bowen.
Nobes 400.
Yep.
Real EastEnder, fam. Trust me right
Daily
now.
offender.
That's listen.
Listen.
Yeah, Nobes 400, bro.
Listen. On a real, because I remember when he came into the side, I think it was against Everton where they played him. I think Moyes tried to play 2 10s
Yeah,
and
bro.
a mad thing, and he was like, he hadn't been played, he was match fit. Today he did what he needed to do. Like, there's actually a conversation about can they do it?
Yeah.
If they fall short,
They're entering that Leicester 2016 zone where
Yeah.
it's like,
They're
they're going to crumble.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to crumble.
Older, no,
It's like, hold on. Wait, these men are still here.
yeah. And Leicester are, I mean, potential my dud of the week is if it's true what the rumors are saying about those 3 that weren't involved, that is straight duddery because.
Yeah.
So apparently the rumor that Perez, Maddison, and
Hamza.
Chowdhury weren't playing was because they went to a shubs, and they then obviously violated COVID protocol, so couldn't be eligible for the squad. Because it's a bit odd that none of them are injured and not in the squad.
Yeah,
So
bro.
people are thinking that something's happened, and if that is true, I'm sorry. In a big game like this, because that's your rivals.
Bruv. That's poor for Madders, man. That's I'm
I hear the
disappointed.
unprofessionalism thing, yeah.
I'm
I
disappointed.
hear the
They should relax before a big game. Is that what you're
unprofessionalism.
saying?
No. I hear the unprofessionalism thing, but I'm thinking, would a manager, like, just using Fergie as an example, would he have gone, do you know what? I'll deal with this separately off the pitch, but I need you for the game. And the game means more. Looking at Leicester's situation,
I don't think you can play. They can't play because you have to log it.
Oh,
You have to log it. That's why, yeah.
Alright,
But no.
On the sly.
On the sly.
Guy was about to
Do you
start
know what I'm gonna say?
blasting
though?
Brendan Rodgers.
No. Do you know what I'm gonna say to that though? Yeah. On the sly, yeah. If anyone knows Fergie well enough, is you. Fergie would have found a way
He would
to
have
get
found
them
a way to
out.
fucking get man on the pitch, bro.
That man would have.
Hey, listen.
Nah, I hear it.
That man would have played.
Leicester are looking shaky at the minute.
Listen.
Vardy, I think you said you wanted to touch on as well. 1 in 17. I touched on him a couple of weeks ago. Is it 13?
13 in league, yeah.
But it's been, for a long time now, it's been poor performances to go with the lack of goals as well. I mean, we saw this last year as well, where players missing or injured or whatever, capitulation. West Ham now 1 point, Chelsea 2 points. Like, Liverpool, however many points, I think 4 points or whatever. Do you not think they'll stay there? You were saying
they're
start of the
running.
season,
I was
you
saying
could see
that.
them in there.
I was saying no, and then I said that they may fall out depending on what Liverpool do, and it's not even Liverpool that are doing business. The other teams now.
They're running his peak.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's what
They're
I'm saying. Their
running his
fixture list,
peak.
they still got
Yeah.
Spurs,
Chelsea
they
have a
still
tough
got
running as
Chelsea,
well.
We have a
they still
tough
got
one, yeah.
United,
Mhm.
they still Southampton as well.
I
I
don't
can't
know if
remember.
they've still got us, Leicester.
I'm not too
They
sure.
got City, Spurs. They got City, Spurs.
We've got everyone.
We've
got everyone.
They got some tough runs.
And we
but
got Brighton as well.
mine, it's a bit on yours, but it's got to be Lings. It's got to be Jay Lings now. Like, I know it's not just this week, but in general, bro, what Lingard is doing is ridiculous, bro. I don't know. I said, bro, him and Gundogan need to be drug tested immediately, bro, because I don't know what's been injected in them for them to start turning into this type of form. But you got to give it to Lings, man. He had semi-depression. He's got to move. He's reminding everyone he got himself in England.
He just seems
camp.
happy, bro.
Yeah, bro. Banging
seems
goals in
happy.
front of Gareth Southgate was there when Maddison should have been playing. Madison's shubs in. Bro, that's disappointing. But Then you got Lingard doing that. So yeah,
Who's your
Champions
dud?
League gotta be Lings.
Dud.
I would have said Leicester. For my duds.
Is that so harsh because they lost the match?
No. I was saying it.
Want to be
if
top
those-
six?
I
Get
see
treated
what
like
you're
top six. I told you, lot. Piss me off, man.
What about you lot?
on the.
Is it because?
My dad.
What
Go on,
about
bro.
you?
Apologies.
What about you?
Production. Who's champion dog? Go on. Champ.
Good one as well.
Go on.
Harry, you got.
My dad is Zidane. What he's been doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had that. Dud.
My dad is Arsenal letting the racist
What?
man get
Oh!
a goal.
Oh.
and
You know what?
How could I forget?
Oh,
Duds. Absolute duds.
Right. This
For a
way you
club-
need production.
For a club that's
You're
built
right.
its back
On
black
culture.
men.
On culture.
Ian Wright.
Culture
Henry,
FC.
Vieira.
Culture FC.
Hey, Rollhouse. Come
Rocastle. Rocastle.
You don't know
Rollhouse. Rocastle, bro. Get it right.
Bro,
Campbell.
Bro,
All these
House,
black
you know, oh my
man.
Lord.
Black man.
Listen,
They
listen.
built their club of
You
man
culture.
built your
They
club.
had 5 kits released this season.
Hey, and you suckers all bought that shit.
No,
up.
do you know what made me mad about it? Yeah, it's the fact that them man didn't even kneel
Lacazette's
down.
miss? Oh
They didn't
my
even
Lord.
kneel down.
Hey,
They
That's
didn't
the
kneel down.
funniest miss I've seen,
No, do you see the
bro.
camera? The camera went,
Bro,
and then
it's the fact that he did this afterwards.
He
was like, oh shit, bro. He was like, oh shit. But he scored today, man. I lied.
Oh.
He redeemed himself.
I said, what?
He's been carrying up. He's been carrying
didn't know
them.
that.
He's been- yeah.
I said, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Who's my dad? I don't know. There was, bro. You know me. I always have a list of dads, but I don't know.
I think that I'm opening the case on referees again. But
the
we'll wait.
referee at the Dortmund game.
Yeah, I'm opening the code. I'm open.
Jose's
Ah, no,
I know,
comments.
I'm just saying referee in general.
Jose's comments afterwards. Solskjaer said, "Oh, if I was, if Son was my son, if Son was my son, I wouldn't feed him. I wouldn't feed him for the way he like play active. If my son went down on the floor and needed for 3 minutes, I needed 10 teammates to lift him up, I wouldn't feed him when he gets home." Wow. And Jose Mourinho said, well, then he's a bad father then, because all fathers need kids or something. But listen, you must feed the kids. Listen, Jose's a dud, mate.
Is this all we're getting to in the media now?
Yeah, he's rattled. He's rattled. You know what I mean? Oli has him
called him a
rattled.
bad mother.
Oli has him rattled. So Jose is my dad of the week. You know what I mean? You try to come against your old team and we clap you at home.
That's
You get
funny.
me?
That's
Dad
funny. Listen,
of the week. You get me?
that's
Dad
another-
as well. You, dad. For all that noise you were making on the live as well.
Listen,
Dad.
That's no. Man
Simple
said,
as that.
man said,
Hey, check
Lindo,
out the live,
Lindo.
man.
That's no episode.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Icon hype, you know. Flipping out. He's got this Spike Dudley.
Hey, listen, that's another episode.
That is Spike Dudley
Right,
colours
out.
still, yeah.
Rock up. Out.
The hurricane, you know. Hey, don't
Hey,
The hurricane.
I don't fucking kill me. That's still rolling.
Stand back. There's a hurricane going.
The Scorpion King.
Hey, don't kill me,
That's
bro. That's funny still.
Hey, that's another episode. Out.